this draft?
I think that YBB is going to continue their lossless streak. I'm feeling pretty confident in their draft so far. I mean,
is it Dano guarantee?
It's not a Dano guarantee, but I can see avenues.
Guarantee.
Or maybe it's the D-Rizzle guarantee.
Oh, that's such a spicy
Wait,
one.
I'm D-Money.
Sorry, but you can be D-Rizzle too. Okay.
Okay, I got the Riz.
Oh, that's really debatable.
I won't say it, what I was going to say. But I can see what Vici are going for, especially with this Brewmaster. We're starting to see it pop up a lot more as a response to the Treant Protector. Like Luke was saying on the panel, you can dispel the living armor, but much more important is getting rid of that overgrowth, because how many games do you see a Treant Protector get up to that level 25 where it actually becomes undispellable? So I think the main priority for YBB is going to be making sure that New has a good start to this game and that he's never picked off first, because, you know, they've got a good amount of stuns to be able to lock him down and kill him in terms of the Beastmaster, the Pango, the Lina. The burst damage is there for sure for YBB, and that's the real area of concern that I have for Vici, in that outside of this Ursa, they addressed it a little bit by the Ember Spirit. They don't exactly have the greatest amount of, like, damage at the very start of these team fights. So you're probably going to be able to get off the Tombstone. You're probably going to pop the Flesh Golem. Yep. You're probably going to be able to get, you know, some damage reduction from the Shield Crash, or use Rolling Thunder, or get away on the Lina. You know, all these sorts of things.
I think YBB, in regards to like keeping the Lina alive, have great ways to kind of enable her to set her feet in a solid position where she's got a formation set around her with Tombstone, with the Pango to jump in with the Rolling Thunder, with the vision from the Beastmaster, the turnaround from the Treant Protector. I think that is really one big advantage for YBB. And that's all you need on Alina. Like, just be able to get heroes to play around her and allow her just to be able to get those right clicks out. So I a lot from them. One thing man, this is just, I feel like this draft is, I just see team fight from either side, and it just makes me so excited for this game.
Yeah, it's a play-by-play caster's dream, isn't it? That you just get all these fights that are about to break out. I'm seeing FY as well, just with his build. I wonder what lane he's actually going to go to, whether he actually does end up following the Brewmaster down to the bottom side of the lane. I guess Vici had the advantage that they've got the Dire side to play with. You can see he's holding on to the Windlace right now. And I value it as well, because you need to make sure that you're pulling this wave as much as possible. Like, it's an Undying into 2 strength heroes protecting Alina. Undying has no stuns. That's one of the biggest weaknesses to the hero. So you just need to make sure on FY that you're cutting the wave, making sure that you're pulling it behind the tier 1 tower, so that New has that good start to the game that we've said is so important for Vici's success.
Yeah, and what else is so important is regards to that first 600 gold you get to play the lane, and I'm very impressed with how Vici Gaming have tried to itemize early on. You know, this one straight into the Windlace and then some extra tangos from New. He's going to look to try and play his distance away from the Undying. And really, a lot of his damage comes out from right clicks as well, so FY is going to be able to help kind of prevent that a little bit with the Fire Spirits. But top lane, oh, we got a first blood already. Yang and Eric start off strong early on. There's no trees for Tian Ming to look to work around with, so Vici Gaming strike first.
I wasn't expecting that one. He ended up getting 3 Frost Blasts off there on the Lich, so holding on to a lot of mangoes to be able to start the game, and it's one of the abilities that does the most damage from level 1, and clearly using it to its full advantage.
And that kill also means the small camp is still available for Vici Gaming, and they've got the lane in a great position as well.
Yep, for sure. Just talking about that itemization as well, just for that point that I was talking about for the bottom lane, FY starting with the Windlace as well, making sure that his movement speed is the exact same as what Undying has. Undying's now purchased a Windlace of his own to make sure that he's able to get a bit more of that harass off. So both teams reading what each other are trying to do and executing it fairly well.
Yep. What about this mid matchup between Setsu and 7E? I think 2 of probably the standout performers. Maybe that's not really too big of a statement to make, considering these are teams that are still yet to lose, but Setsu is back in form that we've seen in previous years on an RNG, and well, 7E is definitely rivaling that. So how do we feel like this matchup is going to go between the two in regards to the lane?
See, everyone has different ideas of how this lane goes, right? Like some people say, oh, you pick the Ember as a response to the Pangolier, you're able to harass them a lot from afar, you can still do damage inside of the Rolling Thunder, yada, yada, yada. But I think it just comes down to individual skill at the end of the day. It's one of these 50-50 matchups.
Love a good 50-50 skill-based matchup between the two, and you take a look, they're also master tier on the hero, so they are well and truly comfortable with the heroes they've been selected in this game.
If you had to say anything, sorry, I'm just having a quick look on the top side. I mean, what might make the matchup swing in one team's favor versus the other is what supports can look to make a rotation to try and aid with picking up either the water runes or the power runes to potentially edge out that 50-50 matchup a little bit, because you've got an Undying, he wants to stay in the lane 100%. You've also got a Tree Protector, really not the best at rotating or playing away from trees, so you would have to say that Vici probably have a very slight edge there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly a weird thing that we take a look at it, and both sides, like, their supports are pretty mediocre at doing it, but...
Yeah.
Early on, Setsu's getting a good damage advantage over against 7E. A lot of harassment put into the Pangoliers, so we'll see if he should be able to get the water in him. It looks like no one's starting to come down to contest it, so he's even going to get a bounty on his trek to the water rune as well.
Just with that death on, and with that death on Tianming previously, that small camp that we've been talking about, I think Yang's been able to pull it twice now. So really just making this life a whole lot more challenging, making sure that Erica's always able to be farming right underneath the tower. It's exactly what you want up against a Beastmaster.
Well, Yang might be in trouble top lane though. Tries to lay down the Frost Shield. Yon's going to be lacking kind of the actions to continue spamming out, which was still on cooldown, so... It looks like they're playing to avoid the lane at the moment as well here from YBB, but Vici wants something else to say about that. Erica's even going to try and turn his attention to catch up to Beyond, and well, at least they'll force the Beastmaster to stop dragging the wave.
Yeah. Erica's got to get back to the lane though. Too many creeps hitting in onto the tower. This is the new lane right underneath the Observer Ward that Tianming placed down. But yeah, Yang nicely done holding on to a lot of those magic wand charges previously, always having a tango pop the second he starts to get ganked, and he might even get another pull here of the hard camp. He's just maneuvering this lane incredibly well for Erica. Lucky that'll be 2 range creeps being denied out. Really the main priority is just making sure that Tianming doesn't get out of here scot-free, although can't fight into the Nature's Grasps though without a little bit of risk.
Nor that second point in the lead sheet. Definitely not a position you're going to look to try and take the fights in at the moment. So everyone honestly looks pretty happy with the setup of the lanes. I was expecting bottom to go more favorably for YBB. Yes, lose off to a great start, 37-12, but I think New would have to be very impressed with how this lane's going. And oh, look at, man, New's starting to become one of my favorite offlane plays. I'll hold that. I thought they were going to go aggressive on Luke.
What are we talking, the little players locking this up?
Yeah, he's doing some tranquil tricks. So...
Just always having it available.
This guy's just a nerd. That's all it is. He's just a nerd. I respect it. I mean, one of the best games to be a nerd at. So I respect it.
All right, who's going to lock out with the power runes? Poor 7E. It's on the bottom side of the map, and it's going to be a haste rune as well. Probably the most devastating one to get at this stage of the game. Setsu's going to reveal it when he moves back towards that mid lane, and Panko's going to be able to pick up a couple of banner runes? No, just the one inside of the Dire Jungle. He's not quite yet level 6 as well, so I wonder what Setsu's going to opt to choose here. Does he try and shove out the wave? Does he look to go for a kill here onto the Pango while he's got the level advantage?
It's top lane that the aggression is beyond. They would even need a dive onto the towers. Bottom lane as well. F are going to go for the dive. Lu off the mark with the LSA. And now it's just kills across the board. Vici Gaming, they've had enough of this kind of slow pace. Not many killers game. All of a sudden, globally, 4 members of YBB will go down.
Setsu with the solo kill as well in that mid lane, making use of the haste rune. I think he went for a little bit of a dive as well, and well, now he's got the Orb of Corrosion as well, so this Sleight of Fist spam is going to be incredibly effective, especially against that laner. You've got to be very careful about your positioning now.
He might not be able to come lane. Oh, is he going to go
for
the
Rolling Thunder?
Setsu's pretty close to a wall.
We'll he's pretty close to out of mana.
Damage. Shield Crash coming up in a couple of seconds. FY is going to look to try and prevent the
nice
dive.
slide dodge.
He's even going to go over. Another round of the fight, facing up shortly in the slide as well. Another death, the tip, along with the voice line. 70's game completely ruined. And now Erica, he's going to be able to chase beyond down under the tower as well. So Vici Gaming showing their experience early on.
They came to play, that's for sure. I mean, they are just getting aggressive all areas across the map. They had an understanding of what they needed to do to address the tree and protector lane. They've done pulls very well. They've been able to get a lot of these even trades off. It's just a really, really solid performance so far. And now you've got, well, not the Brew split to have to contend with, but Lou, I'm sure, would have been expected to not be a full level behind a Brewmaster at this stage.
Those 2 kills now, forcing 7E to make the walk of shame, but further enabling Setsu to find another power in him. This time it's the Arcane in the arsenal for the Ember. So what's the call? You just look to continue to shut down the Pango, and it looks like that's going to be the case. 7E hoping for his assistance, but in fact it's actually not even going to be required.
I mean, now he's got the phase boots as well on Setsu, just another damage buff. You know, it's an overwhelming amount of damage
the
that you have
bottom
to contend with.
outpost. Yeah, nice read of the TP out. Not going to have a way to cancel that.
But I mean, you're not farming if you're TPing back to base, and that's not what you want as the leaner, right? You've already got Pango, good, what, 1,300 net worth behind, 500 on the leaner, 1,500 nearly, compared to Ursa and Beastmaster, so everything going incredibly well for Vici right now.
Dude, they are bullying 7E.
Oh, yeah.
This is a masterclass performance from Setsu on the Ember. Like he has something to prove. Keep in mind, this was a insta-lock Pango pick as soon as they saw the Ember Spirit. 7E called for it. He wanted this matchup, and Setsu, well, he's making sure he's well aware that this was a mistake.
I mean, this is just one of those games where it comes down to like a couple of denies, right? Making the difference. Not having that level 6 against the Ember Spirit meant that he wasn't able to survive that first attempt. He got a little unlucky with the power rune as well, but ever since then, this has just been Setsu's lane entirely. He's a full like 2.5 levels ahead now on the Ember Spirit.
Well, maybe 7E can get some revenge up top. Erica's gonna try and protect himself in the raid. Great leap away as well, and Anu wants to have something to say in this team fight. Got the put at the ready. See if they want to try and expend it here. New, a little bit hesitant with using that ultimate, so one is going to be on Occupy, but it looks like they'll give this over to F5. Isn't the worst support to take it. Would love some gold and some experience.
Absolutely not, especially when they're going to go for these full-on dives, right? Just having that Fiery Spirits maxed out, getting the Sunray as quickly as possible. He's even got the Tome coming out to him, so yeah, FY is super happy to be able to claim a lot of this solo experience for himself.
What do you have to be talking about in the camp of YBB when you're down 9 kills and a 3,000 net worth lead? Well, what's the call kind of need to be is actually bottom lane's easy Q.
Yeah.
He's going to be dived onto the tower. Erica and FY, great kill for them to find. They've got the catapult as well, but yeah, what do YBB need to be discussing now?
Probably like, when can we do something? Maybe it's right now. You've got the Primal Roar available. This isn't a Helm of the Overlord or anything like that from Beyond. He's just trying to sustain in this lane. He's got a Hood as his first item. So maybe just wanting to have these super long-term team fights as well. He's getting gone on a little bit here.
Yeah, we'll see that Hood come into play. One TP is actually going to come out from Lou, but it'll force the Chain Frost out, and the multiple bounces will help them secure the kill into one, and now they can look for a second as well, because YBB, there's just no one there to TP to.
Oh, I mean, you could have put Pango around, but he was just being controlled as well. They're even going to see a few of these stacks that are starting to build up. I wonder if they're even going to be in a position to take it, though, as another kill for FY.
I'm sorry I doubted you, Vici.
Yeah, FY is kind of scary, isn't he?
Oh, FY, everyone. All the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Is...
They got something to prove, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's like... we were very excited to see this matchup with everyone coming to the season was thinking Vici Gaming, the top dogs, as we're going to see them once again looking to butt heads in the mid lane. FY has the Supernova at the ready. Setsu's level 10. Level 10 Ember Spirit without a care in the world. Frost Shield to amplify him off to the right side. Lou, well, he'll be able to reward them for their first kill of the game. It's going to be Yang that goes down. So, unfortunately for him, he's going to... they should definitely have a punishment for Yang going down. First death when you got 13 kills. Yang's got to do like 20 push-ups or something.
We can't all be the gym senpai, right? But, I mean, Setsu, basically with every single slide of fist, he's taken off a quarter of Pango's HP. And this is a Pango with 17 armor right now. Not squishy at all. But, yeah, he just makes him look like he's cutting through butter. And it's even going to get worse once he gets into that, that maelstrom for himself. I mean, at least in that meantime, Beyond's been able to push out this top lane a little bit, only really using the Call of the Wild Boar and Hawks for a little bit of scouting. But I'm still a bit concerned as to how they're actually going to open up this map, because when you think about it, Lina doesn't want to join any of these fights in the next little bit. She wants minimum the Maelstrom so that you're actually effective with a lot of these early rotations in the damage department. And well, it's not really until you get into the BKB itself that you feel confident of just actually standing your ground. So the question for me is, how do they take this top tower?
Over towards the Ancient 70. Forced user Rolling Thunder defensively. Meanwhile, FY, oh, the ultimate's going to come out, but they should be able to bring it down. So Lou's going to be pretty happy with that, because FY has been an absolute pain for YBB to deal with. He's just chucking out Fire Spirits left, right, and center, sapping experience, trying to take a creep away from the Lina, and finally they're able to kill him off. And
they should get this top tower as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the Radiant that picks it up, but I mean, that's without Helm of the Dominator. So the fact that Beyond was able to do that is big credit to him. He's just able to spam out those wild axes as much as possible. Just speaking of FY, he's going for a Sarge. I'm assuming he might be building into a Halberd after that, just to be able to deal with the Lina. That or, you know, potentially scouting out Beyond going back into this, but looks like Beyond's just going pure Aura build. Pipe coming through.
CZQ's actually going to look to drop the Tombstone, losing a pretty good position to take the team fight. Laguna Blade chucked out, but now they're going to be cautious about the Chain Frost bouncing back and forth. Look at the damage from Yang, just cleans up Beyond pretty much by himself, and there will be no further defense from YBB. 7E is not to be seen in this engagement.
I mean, it's just the power of the Haste Rune, right? That's what leads the Ember Spirit to be confident enough to just move on forward, do a ton of damage, and again, it's been the day of Lich, hasn't it? Another fight where Chain Frost ends up doing the most damage overall, despite having a Lina with Maelstrom free hitting into two heroes that were stunned over and over.
Jesus, Eric is rich. Top of the net worth, Battle Fury completed, and not a naked Battle Fury by Ash. Phase Boots, Wand, Corrosion, and the Windlace. Erica is incredibly farmed, and the fact that Setsu is even close is just goes to show of how formidable he's been through the first 15 minutes of this game.
I'm going to keep saying it because it keeps happening, but when a team's getting bodied and it's nighttime for the next 4 minutes, you just have no way you can play, right? Like, you've got one ward inside of the bottom lane. It just feels like you can't walk anywhere. You're always at risk of getting dived. That's the way that Vici Gaming like to play. They pick up the pace to a level that you start to panic. You start to make these mistakes that normally you would think, man, I'm not that dumb. I'm not making that sort of mistake, but they put it onto you. You do feel like a worse player because of that fact.
Lou might be in trouble top lane. He showed himself for a second trying to get the pick off onto FY. Will the TP up be fast enough? Here comes the hurling boulder to stop Lou's TP short, and I knew he's also caught up to another. Lou will at least get a kill and be denied to a neutral. And meanwhile, they're getting mid lane shoved out as well, so this is a lot of space being created from YBB.
You've also got Tianming just sitting on this bottom side. The tower's still going to take a little bit of damage for sure,
7E.
but pushes Erica back.
Oh, he won't be able to get the Rolling Thunder out. Tries to get some distance, but the Swashbuckle, he will find it.
An invis ball?
Okay. Still new is chasing down ZZQ. ZZQ's like, boys, is anyone coming? I need some help.
I can't do this on my own.
Well, there you go. So in the end, knew from that top tier 2 tower, chased him all the way towards the triangle, but now that his Tombstone, Flesh Golem, and the Rolling Thunder not available for YBB to take a fight inside the pit.
And you would assume that Setsu, again, is just going to be playing point, basically, on the front lines. He'll need to go back to base to refill the bottle. And Roshan's probably going to go down before that. Indeed, it does. And this is Erica, 30 gold away from a Blink Dagger. So Lena still 1,000 or so away from being able to pick up that BKB. And you're still in an instance where you can be chased down at this stage. So it feels really like it's a game of dodging by Lu. Try and stay as far away from a lot of these team fights as you can. Nearly level 12, so getting it a little bit of a damage boost to that Laguna Blade, but again, the main issue for mine is you got to take out New. He's doing so much in a lot of these engagements that, I mean, you've got the responses to it, right? And it feels like Treant Protector's a little hesitant to drop the overgrowth unless that Brewmaster is out of the equation.
We do see how they're looking to itemize as well from YBB though. Like Force Staff being worked on from Tian Ming. You've got a Force even as the next item here for Beyond. So, and we do speaking a lot about the kiting potential of YBB, and it looks like they're trying to dive deeper into that in regards to their items.
I do like the way that they're using the Hawks though, making sure to scout out any sort of TPs that could be coming through. Looks like they won't be able to completely scout out Erica. 70. Get the ultimate off once again at the last second. He gets a nice little love tap as well. Are they considering about fighting? I was going to say Tombstone drop down is now a decent gold given over to Vici if they scout it. They're having to be clever though with a lot of these movements, right? Like just now, Lu was farming inside of the Ancients area on the Dire side of the map. Now he goes back when you see the rotations come to defend that bot tier 1. So they're just trying to pull them around the map as much as possible because you certainly don't want to be fighting into this Aegis.
Uh-oh, over towards the triangle, ZZQ will get burnt down. Hopefully Lu's able to make it out as well. Really would hope Belena's not going to be caught out, and it looks like that won't be the case. So just the Undying will end up taking a spill. It's BKB not completed for the Lena. Okay.
Bottom tower.
They're starting to get a little bit of kiting potential though, right? Like you're giving up a kill here, a kill there. But I mean, you've got the mech on the Undying. He's gone into the Soul Rip max build first, just to make sure you're not getting burst down. Rolling Thunder's up, Diffusal Blade's up, Aghanim Shard, even the Force Staff on the Treant Protector. Like all these things that are just going to make the Ursa's life a little bit more challenging. I mean, the fact that Erica had such a great time in that lane means that he already has the Blink Dagger, and this might not even be relevant, but still, they're doing all the right things to potentially respond to these team fights that don't go perfectly on the initiation for Vici.
But it's also at the same time Vici just finding plenty of farm across the map. And you got FY with this Aghanim Shard, and I believe BKB is now out on Setsu, so even though Radiant kind of getting towards these first timings, so setting up top FY under the Hawk, but now Madalena's in trouble. One forced to reposition. Looks like the rest of Vici were a little bit too slow to connect on YPB retreating, so they force a decent chunk of rotations up the top.
Yeah, again, they're just pulling them around the map as much as possible. Like, you would expect a net worth to be growing at a pretty fast pace when you've got a Ursa with a Battle Fury, but it's staying somewhat stagnant, at least for like the past, what, 8 or so minutes? It's grown a tiny bit, but not to the extent that we would expect.
Or maybe this is where the net worth lead could go just a little bit further for Vici Gaming. They're able to connect on the smoke. No one's home though, it looks like. Once again, I mean, 70 out farming inside their own triangle. Top's getting shoved out as well, so...
Yeah. They know because of what's happening top. You might give up the Undying, but again, does it matter?
Oh, they weren't even.
Yeah.
Look,
70's cutting as well. Look between the bottom tier 1 and 2. He gets the courier. He's going to cut a wave. He's going to probably slam the shield crash down, and then he'll just TP back out. In the meantime, Brewmaster's had to TP up top. They will get the Beastmaster? Maybe not.
No, they weren't even. I am incredibly impressed with how YBB are playing this game. This is like picture-perfect stuff on how to play the map when you're down ages and 7,000 gold as well. This is some beautiful stuff from them.
Yeah, I mean, if you're this far behind basically the only avenue to come back is, okay, well, what can we get in exchange for not giving up anything? And it's split up the map. It just makes no sense to 5v5 when you're behind, especially against an Aegis. So yeah, they're playing it perfectly. They're putting their heroes with a lot of mobility, with a lot of tankiness, far away from the others. They're cutting waves. It just makes things
Look at the
so much simpler.
backstab top. We're running to ZZQ Blue.
Oh,
look
the
at
first hit.
Bash! No way, dude.
Unlucky.
Are you serious? First hit bash.
He's still got
Blue.
BKB.
He's pretty speedy as well. Turns with the LSAs. The control could be enough. That's where Tian Min can come into play, but Setsu's not dead just yet. The slide to dodge, the last right click. Setsu will stay alive. Importantly, Lu's able to make it back up to the higher ground, but beyond, he'll be cut short. Fury swipes aplenty. As at least Vici Gaming will find something.
That's so unlucky, the first hit bash. It doesn't end up costing Lina her life, but costing the BKB still feels pretty significant. At least you had to use the Primal Split in response to it to get that follow-up kill onto the Beastmaster. And maybe now, with all that space, all the lane shove that 7E was able to do with his Blink Dagger, he's going to influence these next few team fights. Remember, it's all about him just getting that chain lockdown in onto the Brewmaster. He doesn't have the BKB just yet, so the animation for the split is not going to be fast enough that it'll stop the Pango stun.
Well, it is no BKB for the Lina inside this team fight, which it's a high-risk play. You've got your items, but unfortunately, you're not going to have everything online for this engagement of 7E. Look at the Hawks for vision. 7E is going to find the jump, but the rest of the team will be slow to follow in pursuit as now New's going to try and disrupt them. The Chain Frost will be an issue as well as Erica just assassinates the Beastmaster. Another fighting chaos as either side. Looking to try and close the distance. A formation broken from YBB. They're addressing the Tombstone. It is enabling YBB
Lina's
to
got BKB
reposition,
again,
but
and
unfortunately for
DD.
Tian Ming is inside the river. There's going to be no escape for the Treant Protector, but Lu, he wants something else to say, but unfortunately just won't have opportunity to use the DD.
Yeah, unfortunately, Beastmaster dying before he's able to get off that roar. Just some lucky bashes coming through once again. And it really feels to me like they were a little bit off point with regards to their targeting for that Rolling Thunder. To me, seems like a no-brainer to be able to put it onto the cores. Instead, tried to isolate the supports, and FY didn't die. Yang didn't die. They were still able to get off the Chain Frost to force them away, and all the while, you've got core-on-core fights with, what, an 8k net worth advantage at the time. Really doesn't work out that way. You've got to try and take out these cores to be able to start things off. Looking at FY's farm.
No, I was actually looking at 7E just escaping Yang, who is actually going to Rolling Thunder for this wave down bottom.
Gotta
Okay,
keep
is he
cutting.
going to go for the next? He is.
You'll see that the Ursa's just pushing that lane, so he's not all that concerned. He'll take out the
Top lane,
siege creep.
Setsu. They've got the overgrowth. Oh,
What? Maybe a bit of frustration from Lu there. Maybe just feeling like it's more value to have that overgrowth versus the BKB on the Ember Spirit. He wouldn't have let himself go down.
Oh, he's going to dodge the LSA. Has the creeps to get out of the root, and yeah, New's going to look to use that instantly.
Just the timing, man. He was
Yeah, it
a
was
split
instant.
second after.
Finger on the pulse there from New.
He's got a sense of where Tian Ming's playing as well, even just tossing the Cinder Brew inside the trees. Still though, win probability slowly starting to creep back up. Lena's starting to pick up some little bit more of that farm, right? Boots of Travel acquired, 500 gold away from the Shadow Blade. It's all about just finding that burst onto the right target. Either Brewmaster or Phoenix would be fantastic to be able to take out.
All right. This feels like this game all comes down to this next Roshan. Of course, again, Ursa lineup still very much rely on that second Roshan. It looks like by that Sage, Erica will have the BKB in his arsenal. How do we feel like YBB are able to set up the Roche fight? Like, what is the perfect engagement for them around the pit?
I still don't... I guess they've got the Beastmaster, right? So they can use that for vision. They need to be going for, like, these super long wraparounds. Look at how many Hawks he's got up as well. Just completely scouting out the Dire jungle. Not wanting to give up this area for free and making sure to protect that super vital objective in the Roshan. Still 30 seconds away as Setsu goes to check it out. But yeah, I mean, they're just trying to keep the lanes as pushed in as possible, right? So that any sort of movement becomes a little bit more obvious. They're pinging out right now. Let's have a quick look inside the pit, and he's going to get scouted out with the smoke breaking on Setsu.
Does have a buyback to look to rejoin. They really want to take the fight around Roche. They also scout out Lu, and they know that the Undying bodyguard is not near him. Maybe Beyond's actually going to be the target for Erica.
Oh, the bash again!
At the last time. Means that there's no potential for him to turn it around with the roar. And, well, importantly, Beastmaster does not have a buyback, so they will be able to scout that Roche is up, but it looks like it's, unfortunately, with 2 members down, not going to be possible for them to contest it.
They're going to be content enough to be able to push in this mid tower. Hopefully they use the glyph for it to be able to push it back. There we go, making sure to get value out of it with the own creep wave as well, protecting it for as long as possible. And you have to remember that this is with a Treant Protector, as 70's going for a little bit of a drive through. Wanting just to keep constant lane push out from happening. They would have seen the Ursa TP back as well, although he's instantly looking to rejoin the team. But now all of YBB is available. They know that Roshan is up. This is the maximum time for the respawn, so how are they going to look to position themselves? Does Treant have anything big coming out to him?
They have the ward on the
so.
cliff. 70's going to be cautious. Erica's going to jump, and there's just nothing they can do. 70 is a vital component to their team fight, and without the Pango, this Roche is going to be given away. Well, Tree solo smoked.
Uncharacteristic from him there. I mean, is he going to go for the old
just
4-star push in?
Oh, Dion Ming, they knew exactly where the Beastmaster was, so you know there's got to be ward on the high ground. As soon as smoke pops, they get a glimpse of him before he's able to enter the tree line, so another kill given over.
Uncharacteristic from YBB. I mean, they've been doing such a good job. At least Lu's able to take that tier 2 tower on the top side, but you would have to say that getting this second Roshan for an Ursa, free Aghanim Shard through from him is going to be so much more impactful. FY as well, he's reached up to level 15, so making himself even harder to be burst down.
Radiant's middle tower is
Halberd,
under attack.
he's going into a Hex next on this Phoenix. I mean, what more can you want?
Not a whole lot, man. Not a whole lot. This Phoenix is, I mean, because the status of this past 15 minutes has really just been avoid. Mid lane, are they going to get the jump on you? They showed for a second and they weren't able to jump him as soon as that opportunity were there, but YBB are grouping up like they're going to go for a smoke. They're going away from the Lina. Let's see who they're trying to target down with this maneuver. Blue Bottom's going to scout out Erica. Meanwhile, Beyond, he's already been initiated on.
I'm not sure what that's all about. I mean, all the boys are rotating towards the top side. Beastmaster's on his own. Maybe they thought that they could just get like a 2v1 happening, but I mean, you've got Aegis, second Aegis on Vici Gaming right now. Ursa's farmed as hell. This is not the time for him to just be sitting back and farming a little bit more. They want to open up the map even further. They want their own tier 2 towers.
And with Beyond going to this Aghanim Shard build at a very early stage, every time you take him off the map, it means that they just don't have the Hawks to be able to cut the lanes and take the aggressive farm away. So it's really going to make it difficult for YBB to be able to kind of play at the moment without him up.
Poor ZZQ, he's getting dived as well. He's got the mech available for himself, and, well, he wants to save the Soul Rip for as long as possible, but that's the thing, right? You can't even show for a split second on the lane, even just to pop a Decay or a Soul Rip onto a creep to try and stop this tower from being sieged. That's the point that you're up against, and Erica, level 20, he's sieging the high ground.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
What can Lu get in exchange? I mean, still going to be a little bit until he's into that MKB for himself. It's all about just being that glass cannon at this stage as he goes for a dive.
Oh, I think
Quick
that
fingers with the living armor.
The last second,
Yeah. Can you even afford to pop a Leech Seed here?
Setsu's Remnant has expired. And meanwhile, Beyond's just dead again. Boys are starting to TP in. 70's going to get the jump. It's a huge Rolling Thunder. They'll blow up the Primal before he has an opportunity to play around with the ultimate, and now they're going to turn to Erica as well. A defensive supernova off the right side, but all it will really do is protect Erica for the moment, who's going to continue to hunt 7E, running further down the lane, but the Aghanim shard protects him for the moment. Now gets the bash out as well. Setsu's starting to rock up to the fight. Let's see if it's going to be fast enough to protect Erica. A BKB activated. They're going to try and turn it around, but Lou's okay. Under the cover of the invis, she'll be able to dance out of the fight. They might go for 7E instead, who looks like they should finally be able to kill off this pesky Pango, putting Erica on a beyond godlike streak.
Yeah, 12-0-4 right now on the Ursa.
Split for BKB.
TP. I mean, Erica used his TP onto the outpost. I'm not sure if they meant to do that. Probably not, but mid lane's getting pushed in, bot lane's getting pushed in. You're not going to have a glyph refresh until this tier 3 tower goes down. And, well, love that from Setsu. Love that. Wanted to just break as many trees as possible. That's where he's been playing for the last little bit. Even the slight dodge of the Hawk, man. Setsu's playing on another level, dude.
Let's see if he can continue that momentum into this team fight. We saw what YBB were able to do prior with their high ground defense, but this time they're going to have to do it without their key component in 7E's Pangolier.
And you could just tell that Tianming's so scared of even coming down into this this tree line. He saw what happened to him previously, and well, even with his buyback, they're going to lose the melee racks.
Won't be able to catch anyone out on the retreat. That gold gives Setsu enough for the Lincoln Sphere. Erica just completed the Swift Link. They're actually going to look for a fake back here, and it's going to be instantly into YBB's smoke as well.
Oh, Lou.
He doesn't have the boys with him. He doesn't have the boys with him. Vici Gaming.
Doesn't have buyback either. He just bought the Sacred Relic.
Their gameplay means that YBB, they're just getting continuously choked out on the map. It's just nothing they can do to find an avenue back in.
I mean, I don't even hate the itemization on the Lina, right? He needs to go that Nullifier. He needs a way to be able to get rid of that overpower on the Ursa,
Yep.
but I mean, he literally just bought it, so no buyback available for him. They won't be able to push tier 3 top, but mid lane really looks like there's no way they're going to be able to defend this outside of the Pango getting some really lucky bashes and some disarms coming through from range with that swashbuckle.
You might just have to cut your losses at the second full set.
Yeah.
They can't get megas at least. Feels like there's going to be no damage without the Lina if they're going to try and hold this, so
Yeah.
second set will go. FY just completed a Hex as well. More and more items starting to be accumulated for Vici Gaming with a gigantic net worth lead.
Even just going into the Skadi next as well on Erica, just not wanting to give Lou anywhere to breathe this map. And, well, he can afford the Helm of Iron Will and 5 gold, so it's a little bit of a plus coming through from Lina, but I wonder if he wants to push out that bottom lane first before looking to reveal it. It's got to be a surprise factor.
And it looks like Dire are kind of ready for maybe this attempt if they were to go for it. You see Yang's positioning around the observer to pop a smoke. Some of the other boys are nearby as well, just in case. But YPB, they're aware of this. They're not just going to run up blindly into this high ground. So they'll look to play the opposite side of the map.
Someone needs to address bot, though. I mean, this is a huge wave here. Lou's going to be able to farm it up, but this is the 35-minute wave, the first double siege creep wave. So you just look at Vici Gaming, look to rally around that. It's pretty imposing. Just coming down the top lane. This tier 2 tower is not long for this world, and one more fight goes Vici Gaming's way, and they'll be able to close this one out. For YBB, though, they do have the Nullifier, they do have the level 20 on the Lina, and a freshly picked up Aghanim Scepter for Pangolier as well, with that shield crash and ball talent. He would love to be able to get his own level 20 as well before defending, but they're not going to give him time.
No, they're not at all.
Beyond can't die at the start. Like, it's just simply, he just needs to constantly be watching the position of this Ursa, because he's the one that's going to 100-0 him.
Dota Plus says this game is currently a 0% chance. I think that is a bit much.
1%.
But we'll see if that's truly going to be the case. The 7E. We'll start with the Rolling Thunder. It's going to be up to Loot to provide the damage, but they need to turn to address the Supernova. They won't be able to because New, with his micro, will send Lu up in the air. As soon as the egg pops, he gets dropped back down to the living, but he won't be there for long. As the rest of Vici Gaming will clean up the remaining members as YBB forced to tap out in Vici Gaming. This was a statement game one performance. They want everyone to know